Okay, I think it's working. Hello, everybody. It's been a while since we've seen each other, and I'm glad to be able to share a quick video with you. And so you can see my face, and I can be thinking of you all as well. This is a quick, very quick how-to video to finish the last of the metadata forms, filling those out. There's nearly all of you have completed nearly all of it, and I very much appreciate that. Thank you. We're in the final stages of pulling together all the metadata into one master table. This is really necessary for us in order for our publishing efforts so that we can talk about similarities and differences across sites, so we can have accurate author co-author lists with information, affiliations, and that sort of stuff. Also for acknowledging funding sources. So this is why this is a really important process for us. We're in the final stages of it now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and just barely for just a couple minutes walk you through what this looks like. And this will correspond with your email. So it'll be slightly different things in your email, but you'll have a task list to go through for just a few of these things. Many of you have completed nearly all of it. Some of you have a few more than others, but I'll just give you a quick feel for what this looks like. Okay. Okay, so you all have gotten this email from me. I'm just going to go through the one that's going to be to Wendy and Leigh and I for our site in Galveston as an example. But in this email, I lay out for you what the tasks are by the different metadata sheets that we have to fill in. Now, I know nearly all of you are completed with data gathering, but so it would make sense to only go to the completed form, the metadata form that says post data collection. However, all of these forms feed into each other. The answers feed from the first form into the second form into the third form, so you don't have to type stuff more than once. It already auto-populates forward using some embedded formulas. So it's real important you just start with the very first sheet. Please start with this very first one, proposal form, even though many of you are done. And it says right here, please start with this one. So let me just click that link and open it up. And what you'll do is you'll find your site, and your site tab across the bottom will be the same location for all three of these forms. But I know for Galveston, it was one of the very first ones that we did. It's the third tab from the full right over here. You can see I forwarded through the tabs. Galveston. So I'm going to locate our Galveston form here and see what information needs to be filled in. And I'm just going to go back and forth between my email. Collaborators. Did we have collaborators? And we did, but I just want to verify that these are indeed the collaborators we want to make sure that we have on there. So collaborators, great. I've done that. This is, you'll see it's in cells B17 to B21, B17 to B21. That would be these cells right here. And we just fill those cells in. Okay, so that one's done. Let's see, I'll try a different one here. Site characteristics as another one. This is in the same form. I'm going to click back over to the form. We have site characteristics in cell B51. So let me scroll down to B50. It looks like we didn't provide our site characteristics. So in this case, you could do it a couple different ways. In this case, what I would likely do is open up our proposal. We had a proposal that we submitted, of course, to the HWISE committee for doing this work at this particular site, and we typed up a very brief site description. So I would copy and paste that over into this sheet right here. But if you didn't have something like that, you might type it in. This is a site on Galveston Island in the harbor side communities, yada, yada, yada. You type whatever makes sense for these things and fill this in. Now, this is important, and I'm going to go show you what this looks like here in a minute, but site characteristics is a site on Galveston Island. I would also go back and fill in these other things, and you'll see that my list has that. I need a sample. I need to fill in sampling plan. Fill in what's the water insecurity description at this site, and so forth. Now, I filled those out. Let's pretend I've addressed these various things right here, in which case I'll copy and paste these over from my proposal, or you may need to type some of these things in. Okay, I'm done with the proposal form. Let's pretend I filled everything out there and everything is populated forward. So let's just see what this looks like. I'm going to close this form and go back to it because I finished this form and now know I'm done with the proposal form. I'm going to go to the onboarding form next. Do these in order if you could, please. So start with proposal, then go to onboarding, then go to post data collection. Now I'm going to show you quickly here how these things populate forward. Again, I'm going to locate my tab. I knew mine was third from the right, the Galveston site, so I'm going to scroll at the bottom here and find my tabs. The third from the right is Galveston. And you'll see the date's populated forward already. So the date for the site, look at it here up in the formula bar, it's a formula. I didn't have to type anything. That already just populated forward based on the answers I provided in the previous form. So this is an important thing to note. And this is why looking at your list right here, in this case, onboarding form, you would just go to and you would only populate in this particular cell. So let's see here. I need to affirm these collection dates, cell B6. Are these dates indeed correct? And it should be default to no for your form, but I'm going to say, yes, these dates are correct. I go back and look at them. Absolutely, these dates are correct, and I have nothing new to enter here, or NA, something like that. Okay. Affirm my funding sources, B50, B22. Galveston, oh, I've got two funding sources. Now, these aren't, these are formulas. They came over from the previous sheet. Notice how they're a formula here. Look at the formula bar up top. So are these the only things here? Let's pretend here I've got the name of the grant, but I don't have a grant number. So I'm going to say, no, I don't affirm these. And then what do I need to do? If not, please enter something new. Well, in this case, the NASM has a grant number. So it's 123 ABC, something like that. Let's pretend I've typed that in for now. This information now populates forward. So to the next form, which is all great. IRB number, fill in these things. Okay, let's pretend I've gone through and added this stuff, a data backup. We didn't have data backup in our original proposal to the HWISE committee, no problem. We didn't put something in there. So let's pretend I've typed that out, filled in this form in B58. Great, I've finished all of my tasks for this onboarding form. I can close the onboarding form because I know it's done. All of these things populated for. The very last thing is to look at the post data collection form. And you just open this form here. The reason I'm having you close forms between time is so you don't mistakenly enter information into a cell that has a formula in it. Okay, I'm in the last form here, the post data collection. I know my Galveston site is that third from the tab from the right. So I'm going to go all the way over here and I have edit capabilities. Oh, look, the date's coming forward. Yes, I've affirmed these dates. There's nothing more. The first and last name of the site PI has come over. Our site name, all of this has come over. This is great. Things that influence data participant response or data collection. So this is cell B57 is the first item in my list that I need to attend to, B57. I might have actually done this already, but let me find B57. These drop-down menus here all look good. I added air pollution module, B57. Okay. Any additional site information that influenced participant responses? In this case, if there was some context that might have, heavy mistrust within the neighborhood, maybe your enumerators noticed something about people not wanting to answer, and so you had to change your strategy or something along those lines. You might type something like that in here. In this case, we didn't experience any of that. So none of note. So I'm just going to enter something that says none of note. Now the first item, go back to my email. That one's done. Let's pretend I finished it out. Data sampling statement with more particulars. Let's pretend I finished off all of my tasks. I'm good to go, and I'm done now with my list. And the last thing to do perhaps would just be to send me a quick email response saying, thank you, I've completed those. And that's it. I can stop sharing now at the moment. That is all. Thank you for your attention. Just wanted to walk you very briefly through how we do this, filling this in, why we're doing this. And if this is something you all might be able to get to by the end of this week, that would be fantastic. Thanks much. Look forward to seeing your faces next time.